Good evening. Look at these people. All of you know them. They're famous. And I have a question for you. What do you think? What do they have in common? Because of course, being like, except from being American. Yeah, good answer. But my answer is different. And this list includes many people who couldn't fit in these photographs. These people, all of them, they didn't have formal education in the fields that they succeeded in. So they succeeded in technology, be it physics, be it chemistry, philosophy, writing, but they succeeded without having formal education. Just go to Wikipedia and write list of famous autodidacts. These people are autodidacts. Autodidacts are people who learn themselves. They don't stop with formal education. They don't stop with formal schooling. They teach themselves. First time I realized this, I was in medical school. Before entering, I thought that medical school would be hard. All of the work, all of the learning will happen with professors. They will guide us all the time. But as I studied there was something strange, unusual. 95% of the job and learning, we did ourselves. In libraries, out of the university, after classes. Professors were there just guide us, to answer our questions, to give textbooks. They were like just a guide. All learning happened within us, so we learned ourselves. Then I wondered if, even in a medical school, we learn ourselves. All of the learning done by yourself. Why don't do it in other fields as well? And by that question, I learned Russian fluently, then English. Then I had to learn marketing, management, education, physics, now public speaking, all without taking any formal course, without taking a mentor. And it led to one of the biggest private schools in Uzbekistan now, and my own school now. I'm an educator, I'm a teacher, school principal, businessman, without having formal knowledge in this. I've read extensively in these fields, but because I was curious, not because I had to. So there is a difference, subtle difference between self-learner or person who is being self-taught and autodidact. That's why I use different term. All learning is self-learning. You cannot learn by forcing someone. Like, someone cannot force you to learn. As Charlie Munger once famously said, you cannot teach a man something that he already doesn't know. You have to know something already. You learn yourself. But what's the reason that you're learning it? Is it a job? Is it a degree? You have to? Because you're in a school? Or you enrolled in a course? Is it external motivation? External circumstances? Or is it internal? That is what makes difference between autodidact and self-learner. Autodidactism, as I put it, or as Da Vinci put it first time, is a way of life. It's a type of mind that always seeks questions, answers to the questions. So, now, why these people learn better, why they achieve more, why formal education doesn't stop them? First reason is just recall your childhood. We're all learning everything that's possible around us. It's innate in us. We're capable of learning everything just by ourselves, just by watching adults, Just by doing test and trial, it's called. We like to iterate. We were not given a path upon birth. Like when you are 2-year-old or 3-year-old, like your parents don't say to you, first learn this, then this, then this. No. We learn whatever that moment makes us tick, makes us curious. Second reason that they learn better, autodidacts, because they have their own analogies. What's analogy, I would say? Analogy is base of learning. Cognitive psychologist and the learning scientist Roger Schank described it better. I mean, you cannot learn without an analogy. If there is no example for it, you don't learn it. Let me give you an example to teach example. It's, what is it? Rabbit, that one, yes, it's not alive. Have you ever tasted rabbit meat? For those of you who didn't, I'll describe how it tastes. Okay, it's pink, as you can see. It's a bit medium when you touch it. It's hard to chew. It's low in fat and water. Could you imagine how it tastes? I would say hard. Even the ones who tasted it say, it's not the description. But I tried as best as I could. Now, let me give you an analogy. Okay, rabbit meat is just like a chicken. A bit drier. That's it. Now you learn. That's how learning works. By creating and linking analogies. It's just like when you click something together. When you buy an iPhone or a phone or anything that plugs to the network, you get frustrated when you cannot enter, right? When it's American or Japanese type. It has a plug, but you cannot enter it. It means connection is not working. That's how analogy works. Autodidacts have their own analogies. They have a lot of them. And third reason why they have a lot of them, because they don't stop at disciplinary boundaries. They don't say, okay, if I'm Da Vinci, if I'm an artist, I should stop there and learning only about art. No. They say, I will learn anatomy, I will learn aviation, mechanics, physics, everything, because it's interesting to me. That's why they learn more and better. Okay, you say, Mr. Aziz, what's the benefit in me, like for me in this? What's the benefit? I have a course, I have a university to teach me, degrees, professors. We need to talk about benefits. As Benjamin Franklin said, if you want to convince people, don't talk to their reason, talk to their benefits. So I can name at least 3 benefits. First is coming from curiosity, as we talked. Imagine having 2 people. I am not thirsty, but I have a water, like 10 liters of water. I have it. Can I drink 10 liters of water because I have it? No. I cannot fit it. Even if I'm not thirsty, even 1 liter is too much for me. But imagine now yourself thirsty. For example, Ramadan is coming. Imagine Ramadan, you are thirsty, or like full day you didn't drink, coming home, and there is a liter of water. Can you drink it? Yes, it's easier now. It's not availability of water that makes it get inside us. It's your thirst. So we learn according and in the level of our thirst. We drink in the level of our thirst, so we learn in our level of thirst. Autodidacts learn more, learn better because they're thirsty. And they don't stop asking questions. They always seek answers. And second, because they don't rely on people to learn something. They always go to the sources, they fact check everything. They are less prone to propaganda. They are less influenced with propaganda. They have a critical mind, which is essential nowadays because information is abundant. It's everywhere. What your job is, as a citizen, to find truth. And third, obvious benefit, we talked about it, is curiosity. When you go deep and deep in about subject, when you have to learn something, your curiosity drops. You may not learn it because you're just forced to learn it. Your motivation is intrinsic when you're autodidact. You want to learn, you learn because you want it, you are interested, and you don't care about disciplines. You don't say, oh, I'm a doctor, I don't learn psychology, I don't learn mechanics, physics is not for me. No, you learn everything because you're interested, so your motivation is always up. And this is a result of Gallup study research in 2017 about motivation to study, or like motivational study of 5th graders and 12th graders. So 5th graders, 74% of them, they have motivation to study, to come to classes. But by the end of the school, only 34% of them still keep that motivation. It's not knowledge that's stopping us from learning more. It's our curiosity. Because we forcefully feed the information, knowledge to our students. I've run schools with more than 2,000 students. I know that when you force students to learn something that they're not interested in, they just mechanically memorize it but don't learn it. And third benefit, that you always, lifetime, stay curious. Yes, you may not stay curious about one particular subject, but curiosity will stay with you. If I made you curious about becoming autodidact, did I make you curious? Even some of you? If it is so, then you will have a natural question. Okay, how to be an autodidact? Maybe I'm already one. It's simple. First is start seeking answers for the questions that are bothering you. For example, today, why this event is happening, why some people are talking convincingly, others are not, why I believe this, why I don't not, why I'm bored with this talk, but not another. Research it, deep dive. Don't think, oh, it's not my field, it's not what I do, it's not my job. No, go for everything. I will tell you one thing, disciplines like psychology, biology, chemistry, physics, this is all for professors, for departments. It's not for individuals like us. We need to learn. We can learn everything without like boundaries. So, while doing so, second advice is ignoring, oh, this is not mine, this is not mine, this is mine. So, disciplines, just ignore disciplines. Go for every foundational knowledge in every discipline. Because that's how life works. And third advice is the advice that worked for me: force yourself into situations that make you become autodidact. Do you have a blog where you write? Start a blog, start writing, start teaching. Start a business, small one, maybe hobby. Get to a group like this where learning happens all the time, and you will have more questions, and we will go back to square one when you have questions and you start answering them. That's how you become an autodidact. It's all inside us. Remember your childhood. That's the message I wanted to give you. And the one last piece of advice. Because 7 years of medical school tired me a lot. But this advice, I needed that advice back 10 years ago when I was studying in medical school, so I will give you that advice as well. Even if you get bored with a course, some particular course, or a book, or maybe a lecture, maybe professor. It's okay if you get bored with a particular book. Just stop it, pause it here for a moment, for a week, and go to another one that interests you for that moment. It's okay to get bored with a topic as long as you don't get bored with learning. That's all. Thank you.